Good day to you, friends. Brother Rob with you again. So today I want to talk about abortion, which is a multifaceted moral sin. So first off, I want to talk about briefly the founder of Planned Parenthood, who was a woman by the name of what's her name? Sorry, your name escapes me at the moment. Anne Sanger, I believe. Now, Miss Sanger was notoriously racist and didn't hide it. She actually called for the extermination of the Negroes, in her own words. And the majority of Planned Parenthood clinics are actually found in low-income black neighborhoods. That's not a coincidence. See, she hates black people so much, she wants black people to exterminate themselves. That was the intention of Margaret Sanger. Margaret Sanger was the founder of Planned Parenthood, who is notoriously racist to the core, made no secret about it, and this is why you will find that the majority of Planned Parenthood clinics are predominantly found in low-income black neighborhoods. That's not an accident, because the founder of it, Margaret, wants black people to kill themselves. Okay. So first of all, you have these abortion clinics founded by a racist person who put the majority of those clinics in low-income black neighborhoods. Secondly, majority of abortions are by single black mothers whose man have abandoned them for whatever reason, we don't know, but probably to escape moral responsibility. So that's another issue, of course. The amount of promiscuity within black male culture is no secret, and a lot of black men sleep with a lot of different women. This is not a racist comment. This is a fact, okay? I'm not saying all black men are like that, of course. Of course not. There are many respectable committed black men, hard and committed to their families, and they should be respected as such. I'm not saying that no black man is honorable and is faithful to their wife and family. I'm not saying that, okay? But I'm saying there is a problem in the black community for promiscuity among many black men. Many, not all, okay? So just to make this clear. Okay, secondly, the problem is, the problem is they advocate their moral responsibility to help nurture and raise a child that they are responsible for, helping bringing into the world, of course, with the women they got pregnant with. Sorry, not that they got pregnant. They're abrogating the responsibility of the woman they impregnated, which is a big problem in the black community. Okay. So then you have a single black mother, usually someone who's not in a financial position to support a child of her own, and so she opts to have an abortion. And abortions are very affordable. I've heard that you could have an abortion for as low a cost as $200. So to end the life of your child is really inexpensive. The fact that it's an option is horrible to suck. Okay, now, of course, the question is asked, okay, Rob, what about the women that get pregnant as a result of rape or molestation and sexual assault, okay? Now, that's a horrible thing. Any woman, and my heart goes out to any woman, or anybody for that matter, who's been the victim of sexual assault, rape, anyone who's had their body violated in a sexual manner. My heart goes out to you. But if you're a woman who's been traumatized as a result of sexual abuse, my contention is to punish the person who violated you, not the life in your womb. And you have the option of giving your child up for adoption should you want to. So my premise is, let's not make a bad situation worse. Let's not add murder, the murder of your child, to the fact that you got raped. Now, again, if you have been sexually assaulted and abused in any way, shape, or form, male or woman for that matter, because there actually are a lot of men who have suffered sexual abuse. There's no question about that. But in this case, I'm dealing with abortion, so I'm going to just narrow it down to women for this particular video and just say my heart goes out to you. I hope you experience healing and restoration and peace, and that you can come to trust that most men are not going to do that, will never do that, and most men would beat the crap out of someone who, myself included, if I ever saw a woman being violated by a man, I would not hesitate to step in and beat the living crap out of that man. There's no question about that. Or at least try. But anyways, I would intervene. So my heart goes out to you if you have experienced that. But again, let's not worsen the case. Let's not end the life of the child. It's not your fault. It's not the fault of your unborn child. It's the fault of the man who violated your body. So let's put the responsibility and the blame where it should be, and have that man punished. That man who violated your body, that's the one who should be punished, not the life in your womb. Okay? Now, other thing is the majority of pregnancies are not the result of rape or incest or child. Now again, it does happen, and if and when it does, the people who have been in those situations should be cared for, supported, nurtured, and so on and so forth. But the overwhelming majority of women who get pregnant is a result of consensual sex. That's just a fact, okay? So if you have consensual sex and you get pregnant, the next step you should do is take responsibility for yourself. Carry your baby to term. If you can, provide for your baby yourself. And if you can't, give your child up for adoption, but at least give your child the option to have a life. That's my contention. So again, this is a complicated issue. It brings in a lot of issues. There's a lot of issues involved. There's racism involved. There's sexual assault possibly involved. Usually it's not. Usually it's someone having consensual sex. They get pregnant. They get scared. Maybe the majority of the time they're just not ready for it, or they're not in a financial position to raise a child, and so they just abort, and so they can advocate personal responsibility for the consequences of their choices. Majority of the time that is the case. Now, if you had an abortion, it's not the end of the world. Like it is a sin. Don't get me wrong, but it's not an unforgivable sin. You can repent. You can be restored with God. You can go on with your life. But if you're considering abortion, I highly, strongly suggest you don't consider abortion and listen to the options you have, which is, again, if you can raise a child on your own. If you can't raise a child, give your child up for adoption. But at least, again, give your child a fighting chance of life. Don't end their life. And even in every secular textbook, life starts at conception, which means if you take your child's life, you are committing murder. Now, of course, I know, the law won't convict you for that. You won't go to jail for it. But in your heart, taking that life is still murder. Whether or not the law agrees, it doesn't really matter. What matters is what God says. God is about life. So again, let's not make one situation worse than it already has. Again, if you have been abused and violated in some way, shape, or form, my heart goes out to you. I pray the Lord heal you, restore you, and that you would not that they deserve it, that you would forgive the person who's violated you so you can have the peace in God. Again, not that they deserve it. You don't forgive God. You don't deserve God forgiveness. I don't deserve God forgiveness. No one deserves it. But it's about your own peace of mind in this matter, okay? So forgiving the person who's violated you, if that's the case, is about you having your peace of mind, not that the person deserves it, okay? So just make that abundantly clear too. So you forgiving the person who's violated you is about you having this right relationship with God, not that they deserve it. Again, not because you don't deserve God's mercy, and I don't deserve God's mercy either. So that's where the whole idea of forgiveness is anchored in. Okay. But again, the overwhelming majority of women who have had abortions is a result of consensual sex, so that has to be dealt with as well. So maybe we have to be more self-controlled in our sexual in our sex life, which is something this culture doesn't like to hear, but it has to be addressed. It's like you need to be responsible with your sex life, and the Bible makes it clear that sex is for marriage. And when men and women are married and have sex and have a child, this is how it works. And I'm not saying that all marriages work out or all marriages are perfect, far from the case. But most times in a marriage between a man and a wife, the odds of an abortion are statistically low, extremely low, because most married people want children. It's normal. And so anyways, none of this is telling you how to live your life. You're free to live your life how you want. I'm just telling you my point of view, my perspective. How you take any of it, it's entirely up to you. All right? That's it for now. Peace out, Brother Rob.